Hello guys, and welcome back. So now in this video, let's work in the chat screen. We are going to send our first message. So if we go here in the view friends and then chats, let's work inside this screen. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is to fix this. This is too thick, so let's head over to inside the bottom chat field, and then on this text form field here on the decoration, let's just add the collapse. Okay, so let's say don't collapse like that. Then let's hot restart. Okay, now it's smaller. Let's just wait for it to load. Then if you go there, you can see that now it's smaller. Okay, so let's continue. The first thing that we're going to do is let's create the message model. Okay, so inside the models here, let's right click and then new dot file. So let's call this message model like that dot. Okay, so let's say class message model, and then let's create this model. Okay, so Copilot is suggesting for us, but that's not what we want. So let's just start creating here. Okay, so let's say final string. First we want to send the sender UID. Okay, so let's say sender UID. And then next we want to, we'll need the receiver UID, but first let's put the sender data here. So also here, instead of receiver UID, let's call it contact UID, because we might be sending this to a friend or to the group. Okay, this might be a group ID. Okay, so here let's say sender, not like this, so let's say sender name, and then also we want to send sender image. Okay, and then after we send the sender UID, sender name, sender image, this contact UID will send that, and then now we are going to send a message here. Okay, so the contact won't send their UID, we don't need to send their name and image. Okay, because inside the chat we are reading this name and image from this UID. Okay, so we only need the UID for the other person, the contact or the group. Okay, so here instead of this, now we are going to send the message that we are sending, and then after the message, so we also need to create a message enum. Okay, because there will be like 3 types of messages that we will send. We're going to be sending a message, which is a text image, and then we are going to be sending an image message, which is a file image. We can send images, and then we're going to be sending video message and then audio message. So it's like 4 types of messages. So first, let's create an enum for the types of messages. So let's head over to the constants. I think that's where we created we created this friend type enum. So let's create another one. Let's also a keyword enum. Then let's say message enum like that, and then this one here, that's where we can create the types of message. Okay, so Copilot is already suggesting a lot of message types here. Okay, so we only want the text, so not all of these. Let's remove all of these. We only want like here, so we want a text message, an image message, video message, and audio message. Okay, that's the messages that we'll be sending in our application. Okay, so also let's create an extension to convert this enum to string. Okay, so down here let's create that message. So let's just give Copilot comment, and then it will do it for us. If not, we'll just create it on our own. Okay, So let's say extension message enum extension convert, let's say convert message enum to string. Okay, here instead of that we say on string. That's what we're going to say. Okay, now let's let it do it. So it's not doing it. Let's start maybe to do it. Extension dot message. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what we want. So let's go ahead and click tab. Okay, so here it says message enum extension on string. Okay, and then message enum to message enum. Okay, so if the case is text, we are going to return this text. Else, if it is image, video, audio, else we are going to return the text. Okay, so this will be our extension to convert this to string. Okay, now let's go back to our model. Now here let's continue. So here after the message we want to get our message enum. So final let's say message enum, the one that we just created, and then this will be now the message type. Okay, and then next we want to get the time sent. So here it's saying message time, but let's save it as a date time, and then let's say name it as time sent, like that. And then next let's save the message ID. So instead of that, it's going to be string message ID. Yeah, then after the message ID we're going to have a boolean which checks if this message is seen. Okay, so let's say bool is seen. Okay, we need all of these. Let's change that. And then next after this we are going to check if so since we are also having replies in our messages, so let's also send the message replied. Okay, so here let's say replied message, just like that, because the message ID will still be the same. Okay, and then next let's check replied to who. Okay, so replied here let's say replied to. Okay, if it's in the group we have to check it is replied to who. Okay, so also the replied message, we need to check the replied message type, if it was replied in the text, video, or image. So here again we are going to have another message enum which is a replied message type. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's it. Now next let's create a constructor for this. So there it is, Copilot has created. And then next after this let's create a to map. So let's see if Copilot will create. So yeah, it's creating, but we don't want to have these strings with a now check. So let's just have comments. So let's say to map, then let's see. Yeah, that's our to map method. Yeah, it knows that we are using constants in our application. Okay, so we are going to use these constants. Okay, we need to create these constants. So next, before we create these constants, before we correct this, let's also create our from map. Okay, from map. Let's see what Copilot will create. Yeah, that's exactly that. That's what we want. So let's go ahead and click tab. Okay, so now let's correct these. So first let's go back up here on the message type. Instead of that, we are just going to say message type dot name. Okay, because what we are getting from first to here, and also here we'll do the same. Okay, message type dot name, just like that. And then on the time, where is the time? Here on the time, we're going to get time sent and then dot milliseconds since epoch, like that. These are the only changes that we are going to do here. And then next, if we come back here on the enums here, so on the enums we need to get even these. Okay, these we need to check if it is empty so that we return an empty string. Okay, also here we have to do the same, and also here we have to do the same. Even here, all of these places we need to put the default value if it is empty. Okay, like that. And then on the enum, so here it is saying to string to message enum. Yeah, we'll test this if it will work. Otherwise, yeah, I think this should work. Okay, so if it doesn't work, we are going to change how we are getting this. Okay, and then the time sent, let's get it. Let's first remove this. Let's cut that. Here let's say date time. Okay, like this, the way it's telling us. Let's click tab and then we put that date inside. Okay, and then what else? Here the message ID, we also need to have an empty string if it is empty. And then here the last scene, you should have a default value which says false. Here we should have a default value which is empty, and then also here we should have that. Okay, now we need to create these constants. Let's go back to the constants, and then inside the constants here, so once we just write one, so it sees that we need it. So let's just keep on pressing tab here so that it creates all those constants in the message model. Okay, looks like it's done. If we go back to the message model, we don't have any errors. Okay, great. So now that we have a message model, we can go back to the bottom chat field and then also create a provider so that we can send the first message. So let's end this video right here. Let's just keep it short. So this was just for the message model, because there's a lot of things and we might need to come back if some of these things fail. Okay, because this was Copilot is code. I have not tested with this. I know how we can get the enum with this method that we've made the extension. Okay, so this was just Copilot. We may need to try it. So thank you guys, and see you in the next video.